Today I'm going to be walking you through how I use the Flylady Crisis Cleaning to get my house back in order. We spent the week out of school, we were all sick this week, kind of back and forth, and my house suffered greatly. Now we did keep some of my daily routines intact, but there was no zone cleaning this week, there was no weekly home blessing, so my house felt super dirty and my in-laws were coming, so I needed to get this handled quickly. Hey guys, my name is Nikki and I want to welcome you here to Carry Grace. Alright, so you can see that I have got some serious hot spots going on. I've got crumbs on my table. There's stuff all over my kitchen counter. There is, you see all this Valentine candy? This is well past Valentine's Day, but we had hit up the Target clearance section, so we still have lots of Valentine candy lingering. You can see that my desk is a mess. There's cords everywhere. I have been painting some furniture, and because I've been sick, all of this is just kind of strewn. There's things all over this living room. I'm just going to kind of give you a quick overview so you can kind of see where we're starting from. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I was trying to do this quickly, but like I said, this is just kind of messy. There is a dog bone or something down here on the floor. There's clothespins where somebody had a snack and left the clothespin off. I'm guessing what was chips. This room isn't bad. There's just a couple of random things out. Not sure why that's there, but I am going to go through this very quickly. The simplest way for me to describe crisis cleaning for you when it refers to the Flylady system is simply when your house is kind of a disaster, and rather than relying on your routines to get yourself back on track, you're going to spend about an hour or so and you are going to go through things very quickly and just get as much done as you can. You're not going to put things necessarily away exactly where they go, but you're basically going to go through and make things look presentable. If you've got a bunch of stuff out, you may need to grab a basket or a box and just kind of throw things in. You don't want to get distracted. You're going to focus on the things that make the biggest difference. Now, Flylady does have a video on her YouTube channel called Crisis Cleaning 101. It is super helpful, and when you're done with this video, because in my video I'm just showing kind of how I applied it to my house on this particular day in this particular instance, but if you go to her channel, she walks you through an entire hour of crisis cleaning. And so if you've got lots of dishes out on the counter or just like major things to handle, she kind of walks you through it, so it can be very helpful, and I will leave a link to that video in my description box down below. Alright, so I mentioned we had been sick. I didn't do any zone cleaning this week. I did not get to my weekly home blessing. And one thing I've noticed is that if I stay on top of my morning routine and evening routine and keep it with my weekly home blessing, my house stays pretty good. Now, I definitely like to tackle my zone cleaning, but when I focus on the other things, things feel really good. If I miss my weekly home blessing, my house just feels dirty. We are a homeschool family, so we are home all day long, every day, and because we're in and out and using things and just live here all day long, it gets dirty. So my house was feeling super grungy. I mentioned my in-laws were coming. We had been sick, like I said, and so I really needed my house to feel clean and kind of look clean when they got here. I didn't know exactly when they were coming. I knew they were coming this evening into town, but I didn't know if they were going to make it to our house tonight or sometime tomorrow, so I wanted to make sure that I had things taken care of. Alright, so the first thing I did, I had just kind of a few dishes in the sink, so I went ahead and took care of those, and then you can see I had a bunch of Valentine candy on the counter, which made everything look super messy, so I just grabbed a basket out of the pantry and just kind of compiled all of that in there. I'm putting things away, not necessarily exactly where they go, like that cord doesn't really go in that drawer, but I don't want to get sidetracked. I did start my diffuser first thing when I walked in here because I know that that's going to make my house smell really good. I sprayed my granite cleaner on the counters. That's another thing that's going to make my house smell really good. That's the Method Granite Cleaner. I'm going to go through and just work on surfaces. Surfaces are things that, like, if they're cluttered, they make your house look really messy. So I'm going to go kind of room by room and work on one room at a time. I set my timer for 15 minutes each room, and I'm just going to get as much done as I can. I'm going to work on clutter first, kind of getting that put away, and then if I can get to just like a quick vacuum and a quick mop, that's what I'm going to do. I'm wiping down kind of the fronts of things that tend to look messy, just to kind of, you know, like I said, my mother-in-law's coming. I don't want things to look like they haven't been kept up, even though we've been sick. The other thing that I'm going to do here in just a minute, you're going to see me wipe down my table and chairs. We have black chairs, and you can see every single little crumb on them. So it is one of those things where I knew we were going to be in this room, sitting down, talking, and so I wanted to make sure these chairs did not look disgusting. So when you're doing crisis cleaning, you're wanting to think about things that are going to make the most impact in the least amount of time. So keep that in mind when you are doing crisis cleaning. Right now I'm moving on to this counter. This is one of my hot spots. This is an area that I try to take care of every single day, but in full disclosure, this counter looked like this all week long. Now this stuff right here on the side, I have a gift for a wedding shower this weekend, and I already had that kind of wrapped, and then I've got ingredients to make punch because I'm doing the punch for the shower. So all of this is going to stay here right now, and then later on today I will get my kids to pick this stuff up and put it in the back of my vehicle so that it's ready to go. So that's kind of why that stays right there during this video, because I kind of need it to be in front of my face so that I don't forget about it. Alright, so I got everything pretty picked up in here. I still have some time on my timer, so I'm going to do a quick vacuum and a quick mop. Now let me tell you, a lot of times you will see me, like when I'm doing my weekly home blessing, I will use my O-Cedar spin mop, which I really like, but it takes more time to drag that out and use it. So today I just got my e-cloth mop pad out. I already got it wet. You'll see here in just a second I forgot to get the mop out of the laundry room, and I'll go grab it, but I'm going to do just a quick mop. Y'all, this is crisis cleaning. My in-laws are going to be here soon, and I don't have a lot of time to handle this, so I need to do this as quickly as possible. So take the shortcut. Do whatever it is you need to do to get this done quickly. I know it's hard to tell in the video, but y'all, my floors were disgusting. You're going to see me scrubbing right here. There is a big glob of something right there on the floor, and I was determined to get that up. And I don't know about how it is in your house, but when my floors are disgusting, like, I just feel gross. So this was super important to me that I get my floors done. I worked very quickly. You can see I'm really not taking a lot of time. I am doing this quick. Alright, so as you can see, I got a lot done in the kitchen in 15 minutes. I stayed focused. I'm going to reset my timer for 15 minutes, and I'm going to work in kind of this area and then my dining room, and I feel like I can also tackle my bathroom because it's kind of right there. So I'm just going to kind of put a few things away. Now normally I would say if you've got a lot of clutter out, grab a basket, grab a box, don't get sidetracked, throw the stuff in the box, put it in a closet, put it in your laundry room, in your bedroom, shut the door, whatever you need to do. But I just had those couple of things, and I knew I could put them away super quickly. Now, right now, I'm going to work on surfaces. This piano is black. My table's right here, my table and my buffet right here. You can really see the dust in here when there's a lot of dust because there's a big window and door right there, and the sun just really shines in here. So I am going through very quickly. I'm just using a e-cloth that I just sprayed with a little bit of Mrs. Meyer's cleaner on there. I like to get it just a little bit damp, and it works really well at just picking dust up really quickly. You can see I'm just kind of stashing things in my buffet, things that don't really go there, but they're out of sight now, and I can put these things away on another day when I have more time. Now, you can't see me right here because I didn't think to move the camera, but I did take a few minutes and I cleaned the windows right there on my side lights next to the door because there were a lot of fingerprints. So I just kind of wiped them down quickly because, like I said, it just looks kind of gross, and I knew I was going to have time if I worked quickly. So I've got plenty of time in here right now, so I'm going to do a quick vacuum, a quick mop, and then if time allows, I'm going to go ahead and just move on to the bathroom. I am done in this room, so I pulled my phone out to check my timer, and I still had plenty of time to work on this bathroom, so I didn't reset the timer. I just resumed it, and I'm going to get this done quickly. Now, I did not do any cleaning in this bathroom for my morning routine today. I had some other things that I just kind of needed to catch up on so that I knew that I could just do this one when I was doing my crisis cleaning, because I knew it wasn't going to take long. And I will tell you though, even while we were sick, this is one of the things that I kept up most days. I did work on bathrooms each morning, the swish and swipe, and I also tried really hard to kind of stay on top of some laundry this week because I knew that if I didn't, it would take the most amount of time to catch up on. So I tried really hard when I did have a little bit of energy to work on those things. So when you're having company, you know they're going to need to use the restroom, so you want to make sure that your bathrooms are in tip-top shape. So I am just doing a quick swish and swipe in here, wiping the mirror down, and I am also going to do a quick vacuum and mop in here because, you guys, I told you I did not do my weekly home blessing, and when I don't do that, my house feels kind of gross. And y'all, it really is my mother-in-law coming. So I need things to be clean. I need them to look clean, smell clean, feel clean, all the things. I do apologize right here. I kind of have the door in a weird spot and it's hard for you to see what I'm doing, but I am kind of doing a quick swish and swipe on the toilet in there. Like I said, I was working super fast, so I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to the camera, and that kind of backfired on me, but you can still kind of tell what I'm doing. When you're doing a crisis cleaning though, and you've got people coming over, you do want to make sure that you have gotten rid of any dirty towels. There's no laundry piled up anywhere. Hopefully you saw me change out the hand towel. I like to make sure that I have a clean, fresh hand towel anytime a company comes over, especially since we had been sick. And I did take a minute to empty the trash can. My kids usually do this, but they had not done it. If your bathroom counter is covered in a bunch of stuff, you want to make sure that you either straighten it or put it in the cabinet or drawer or wherever it belongs so that the restroom feels nice and tidy and clean. Crisis cleaning may look a little bit different in your home, kind of depending on who's coming, when they're coming, how long they're going to be there, what they're going to be doing, things like that. So like I said, my in-laws were coming. They weren't actually staying at our house, but they were coming over to visit. We were going to be having dinner this next day. I did know that for sure, which is why I wanted to make sure that my kitchen was clean and all the dining room chairs and kitchen table chairs and all of those things were nice and clean. But like I said, depending on what your situation is, that will kind of be how you determine the most important things that need to be handled. For me, it really is going to be all the main living areas. I knew we would be hanging out in the living room. And, you know, obviously people are going to need to use the restroom. They're probably going to come in your kitchen and want something to drink. All right, so I'm in the living room. This is the main area that we hang out in. Again, we were sick this week. The sheet is in there because my kids had their what are they called? Their blow-up mattresses in here to watch TV, and I had been painting furniture in here before I got sick, and really the table over there in the corner, it really needs to cure for a while, so that table is really just going to have to sit there. It's not ideal for when you have company, but everybody that knows me personally knows I am always working on some kind of project or painting something, so it's kind of just part of how things are. It's very normal for my house, but I do want to get all of the clutter and things picked up. Right now I'm folding the dog's blanket. That's kind of where he hangs out. Y'all, my couch looks a mess when the pillows aren't fluffed and there's blankets kind of everywhere. Cushions are just kind of all pushed down. So I'm going to take a few minutes and really work on getting this couch to look nice because it's kind of the big focal point in this room and it makes such a difference. So take the time, straighten the cushions, fluff up the pillows, fold the blankets. Maybe you need to put your blankets like in a basket out of sight, whatever it is you need to do to make this area look nice and straight, because most of the time when you have company, you know, you sit down in your living room. So make sure that this area is in tip-top shape. I had painted this smaller table a couple weeks ago and it's cured enough that I can put things on it. It doesn't really go in this spot, but since we're having company, I decided to just put those books on it to kind of get them off the floor. I'm showing you my Flylady books and reflections. I do refer to that thing quite often, so I like to keep it where it's easy to get to. So now that everything is kind of picked up, I've kind of wiped the things down that I felt like needed it. I'm going to do a really quick vacuum and mop in here because you could definitely see some things on my rug and on the tiles, so just a really quick vacuum and mop is really all I needed to do in here. I really like the Flylady system because when I stay on top of my morning routine, evening routine, and my weekly home blessing, I don't have to do these crisis cleans, but y'all, sometimes life throws us curveballs. Sometimes things come up, sometimes schedules change, sometimes people get sick, sometimes things just happen and you get behind and things pile up, and then you have company come in and you really have to just kind of get it together quickly. So I like that I don't have to clean like this all the time. I like that my routines keep this from happening. I would have never dreamed that this was going to have to be this way this particular week with my mother-in-law coming, but it happened, and so I just kind of had to buckle down. I set my timers. I stayed focused. I kind of did one room at a time because I felt like doing it kind of staying in one area was going to help me stay the most focused, and it really worked. So as you can see here, everything's done. Everything looks pretty put together. I'm real happy with this. I stayed focused. I worked quickly. I focused on putting clutter away first, and then as time allowed, I kind of went to the next thing. Wiped the surfaces and then just did kind of a quick vacuum and quick mop and things like that. You can see I didn't dust things like bookshelves and things where people weren't going to be looking, but surfaces like flat surfaces, I really like to get those done because a lot of times you really can see dust on those. I knew we were going to be in the kitchen having dinner in here the next night, so I wanted this to be nice and clean, and that was important to me. You can see I've got a pot right here where I had boiled water earlier to make tea, so that is ready to go. And like I said, I'm going to have my kids put that stuff in the car, so that's kind of not really that big of a deal right this minute. I knew that if I took that to my car myself, I'd probably get sidetracked in the garage doing something random, so that's why I chose not to do that. During this crisis clean, I wasn't focused on doing laundry or folding laundry. I didn't go upstairs and work on bedrooms or anything like that. I really just focused on the things downstairs, the main areas where I knew people were going to be. Now that that's all done, I am going to set my timer and I'm going to give myself a break. I worked hard for a little while and now I'm going to do something for me. One of my favorite things to do to just kind of reward myself is to make myself a really nice iced coffee. So that's what I'm going to do. I enjoyed my coffee. I sat down. I was able to talk to my husband. He actually got home early, and so that worked out really well. After I had a little break, I went to the grocery store. Y'all, we were out of toilet paper. I needed groceries so that I could make dinner for my in-laws the next night. So I did, like I said, I gave myself a treat and relaxed for a few minutes before I continued doing more things that needed to be done. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new to my channel and not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I do post new videos here weekly. I typically have a new video every Monday. Occasionally, I'll throw up a bonus video on Thursdays. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.